so I don't have to quit keep switching between windows because I want to see if we're live.
Says I'm waiting.
I just got a notification from YouTube saying we're live.
Okay.
Or saying that I got a notification saying that the nights are streaming. So
Nice.
yes, it looks like we're live.
We are live.
Hey.
It looks like we're live, anyways.
What the hell is this thumbnail?
Welcome to the last podcast of 2019. We're happy to have you guys. Hold on. I have our volume playing. It's really throwing me off hearing myself. Last podcast of 2019. It wouldn't be a last podcast of the year if we didn't make every mistake possible and start late as usual, but that's just our thing.
Yep.
I kind of felt like this should be like a more laid back podcast because and the last few
aren't they all?
They are. They really are. But this probably had less preparation than all the others combined, or than any of the others that we've had so far. But I'm just happy with the way the podcast has gone. But I think next year we can do a lot better. I'm really excited for 2020 for many reasons. I don't know. I always get really excited around. I get both excited and emotional around this time of year for some reason. It's probably normal, but
yeah.
I'm personally really
it's just the effect of Christmas and the holidays because they have the effect both ways on all sorts of people. So
yeah.
Hey Shady, welcome to the stream, buddy.
Thanks for coming out. We're just kind of talk. I thought it would be fun to kind of just do a recap of 2019. I honestly didn't feel like 2019 was a huge year for gaming. There were a few big titles that were really cool, but other than that, I wasn't like overwhelmed. After watching the Game Awards and seeing that they'll be launching 2 new consoles at the end of next year, so I expect next year to be a pretty big year in gaming. It's kind of a trend. Well, if you look at it, it's kind of a trend. Gaming will kind of go downhill just a little bit before the new consoles release, and it's because more developers are working on content for that newer generation. Sure. And so I feel like at the end of next year and then early 2021, we'll probably start seeing a lot better quality in games as far as things that are more innovative, because those consoles will actually be able to run things that are a lot more complicated than our current ones can. So I'm really excited.
Do you think we're going to get more into a VR era or what?
Well, I think there's going to be more VR, but I don't think that the consoles are necessarily trying to focus on that market. PlayStation 5, the specs that I saw leaked, and I don't know if this is true, will run VR better than most PCs. So we'll see. And I'm just waiting for that hardware to get confirmed before we talk too much about that. But I think next year will definitely be a bigger year for gaming for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it too. But I think that any year where a new console is put out there, you definitely a better year for gaming.
I don't know how I feel about. I don't know if they're mock-ups or if like this is gonna be the final design of the consoles. But if it is, I think both consoles look bad. I'm just gonna be blunt about it. One, as Bacon pointed out, looks like to us earlier, looks like a vacuum cleaner, and one looks like the stand to a table. So I mean, if those are the final designs, I think they're bad. I'll just be blunt about it.
I will become a
which
Nintendo.
one's which? Because I saw the refrigerator one.
That would probably
vacuum
be the
cleaner
Xbox.
is PS5. PS5 is a vacuum cleaner.
I saw the Xbox refrigerator.
Did you see the robot? I posted it in the Discord.
Oh, the Wally robot.
the Wally.
It's in memes and funnies. But yeah, it looks like Wally. But
I'll put the vacuum one there too.
It looks very 90s-ish to me, and I actually don't hate the design. I think parts of it are kind of funny looking, but it looks like a cheap DVD player.
Like when
that's the PS. Oh my god!
Yeah. Like when DVD players first came out. Yeah.
To me, the Xbox looks worse than the PlayStation, though, because
I kind of like the look of the PlayStation, but the Xbox is rather like
The Xbox is
rather
just,
just plain.
It looks lazy. The design just looks lazy.
Looks,
yeah.
I mean, it looks lazier. I'll admit, it looks a lot nicer than the PS5, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're both going for different futuristic looks. Like the PS5 has like the like, oh my gosh, it's the future. It looks like a fucking robot. But
looks
the
like
Xbox
a console you'd see
has
in
like
looks like a console you'd see in the Back to the Future movies or something.
Yeah.
And then like the Xbox has like the sleek, simplistic, like futuristic type look.
I think
like
Xbox
the minimalist,
is, like going for the PC play, like saying, "Hey, we're making a new console that's almost as good as a PC, not quite,
but it looks like an extended GameCube."
Yeah, pretty much.
It will never live up to the GameCube.
No, the GameCube.
I'm not saying it ever will, but it looks like you stretched out the GameCube.
The GameCube was hands down, in my opinion, the best Nintendo console ever made.
The GameCube?
Yeah, hands down.
The only other one I'd say that would be a good fight against is the 64.
I would say 64.
That it's between those two for me.
To me, GameCube is kind of where Nintendo's got started being pushed as kind of the meme console, and this is just my personal opinion.
Funny,
yeah.
Little did they know Xbox and PlayStation would take over.
Oh my gosh.
That's the thing. I feel like Nintendo has gone through the crappy designs of consoles, like the Wii and the Wii U. I'm not saying the consoles are bad. I'm saying the design of them. But now I think PlayStation and Xbox are about to hit those times.
I just thought of another funny thing. Do you guys ever see that episode of South Park where they have like, or it was like 1 or 2 where they have like the console wars when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One first came out? I wonder if there's gonna be a South Park episode or episodes where it's the PS5 versus the Xbox Series X or whatever it is.
They're just gonna trash on both.
Well, yeah, last time it was like whoever got into the mall first got like 90% off or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You mean the Game of Thrones style one?
Yeah. With Princess Penny.
PlayStation win though?
I can't remember.
Consoles still have a huge fan base, though. I don't think that, like, a lot of people are big Sony fans or big Microsoft fans, and so that's the reason they go for the consoles. I don't think that you'll. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to get to a place, at least in the near future, where PC players are going to want to make the switch to the PlayStation 5.
Oh no!
Or the hardcore Xbox players are going to want to make the switch. I feel like that they very much find their own niche, and that's a big reason why a lot of these games have their own specific IPs that come out for that particular platform. Like Halo's always going to be Xbox things. And so, I mean, I'm pretty sure any new Halo they come out with is going to be specific for the Xbox for at least the first year. They may then do a second release on PC or something, but I don't see them trying to give that out to their competitors at PlayStation. Kind of talking about 2019. What were your favorite games that were actually released this year?
I actually got to think of what was actually released.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of big games that released that I played other than Pokemon Shield. So
same. I mean, I love the Call of Duty game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Pokemon was good. Borderlands, I still haven't fully played through it yet.
Same.
So, actually, technically, this game did come out this year. Apex. I do like Apex.
Did Apex come out this year?
I think
so.
So.
Apex technically did come out this year.
It seems like it's been out forever.
I think it's been out since last year.
I thought it came out in like December.
No, it was in like beta. I think it's full releases this year.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it came out this year in February.
There were some notable games this year. I mean, the Star Wars had a pretty big game. Death Stranding was, I think it won some awards at the Game Awards. I actually did watch it. A lot of it was actually pretty boring, but
Sekiro came out this year.
Sekiro, that was a big one too.
Also, no, we can't forget Untitled Goose Game.
I never played that.
The game's
Can't forget
awesome.
that. It's amazing.
Oh jeez.
I'm just tweeting out the podcast real quick, so don't mind me.
Oh.
All right, you're good, man.
Feel free to fill in for a second.
Mario Maker 2 came out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
It's a huge upgrade from 1, and 1 was amazing. 2
True.
gave you so much more to do. It's truly like a proper sequel, and like I haven't played it as much as I really wanted to because a lot of other stuff was happening at the time, but I have been seeing a lot of people still on YouTube playing and creating and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a
Mario-
memorable game or game collection or game right now, since only one of the games is available. But Halo came to PC in 2019, and that is awesome.
True. Technically, it's a kind of a re-release, but
Yeah.
that is
and it's
true.
only one game right now. Halo Reach.
Yeah.
A Plague Tale is a notable game too. I didn't play it myself, but I did watch some playthroughs of it. I believe it won the award at the Game Awards for best narrative.
Yeah, I did.
So I thought that game was really, really good. Outer Wilds was a notable one too.
Yeah,
play it.
Outer Worlds.
Didn't play it again myself. There
Same.
wasn't a huge like I said, there's just not a lot of big games that came out this year that just like really caught my eye.
Yeah, I mean, most of them were kind of like just continuations of series. I feel like
Gears
Devil May
5
Cry.
Gears
Mhm.
5 came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, but the
Yes.
storyline was trash, dude.
Gears
Yeah, I
5.
mean,
Yeah.
I knew it came out, but I'd never heard anything about it at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, the only
The new
Oh, sorry.
the new Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville came out this year,
How's that?
just a few months ago.
Any good?
It's it's the new their shooter. It's they've slimmed down what they had for their previous shooters, the Garden Warfare and Garden Warfare 2, and they
Yeah.
made it a lot more online playable. They made actual like story aspects to it, and you have different sections of map you can play on. It's pretty cool. That's another one that I really want to play more of, but I just haven't had the time.
Wargroove came out this year. It was made by Chucklefish. I believe they're the same developer that came out with Stardew Valley. It was, I guess, one of the more notable indie games this year.
I think the only other indie game that I heard of besides like Untitled News Game and that is Disco Elysium, was it?
Yeah, that one looked cool. I didn't play it, but it did look pretty cool. I didn't even hear about it till I watched the Game Awards.
Same.
But it definitely caught my eye. Looked pretty damn cool. Well, that being said, any 2020 games you're looking forward to coming out? I really haven't seen a whole lot. Final Fantasy VII Remake, like I said, I kind of critiqued it in the last podcast, but it is something that I'll probably, most likely, definitely be playing.
Probably Psychonauts 2. That I think for me, I'll be looking forward to that. Game,
if that's
definitely.
confirmed for 2020, definitely.
It is
Yeah.
confirmed for 2020.
Okay.
Little Nightmares 2, Predator Hunting Ground.
Ooh.
The new Yakuza game comes out in January.
Yeah.
Ori, the sequel to Ori, Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out in February.
Yeah.
One of the sequel to one of the biggest indie games ever. Pretty
Yeah.
excited to see it. And I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy Tactics. The Dark Crystal is coming out.
Yeah, I'm
next year.
excited for the Dark Crystal.
I think the two games for me next year that I'm excited for would definitely be Halo Infinite and the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game.
Nice.
I don't know about the Kakarot game.
I'm gonna try it.
I think the most anticipated game next year will probably be the Cyberpunk 2077, though.
I think so.
Oh, that's
Because
right.
it has Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it comes out in April. Yeah. The Last of Us 2, that's another big one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
I'm just bad at
excited.
release dates. I don't know when anything ever releases.
That one's coming out in May, I believe.
Another one a lot of people are excited for, I'm not sure about, is a Half-Life.
I would be, but did you read the whole? There's an article. At least in its current state, there's only about 8% of the computers on Steam that can actually run that game.
What?
Oh, fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a VR only game, from what I understand.
I'm gone.
Yeah, it's a VR only game, and that's why a lot of the fans are angry.
Mm.
But Fairy Tail's making a game next year. Doesn't have a release date just yet though. One of the biggest games. Did any of you guys play on the Hypixel servers for Minecraft?
Yes.
Yeah.
They are coming out with their own game that's kind of voxel based looking, and it's gonna be
Minecraft Dungeon.
Hytale.
Oh, Hytale. Okay.
Yeah, Hytale. It looks really, really cool. It's kind of like their own version of Minecraft reimagined as an MMO. So I'm excited to see what they do. Phantasy Star Online. I liked the first one. Had a lot of problems, of course, but yeah. That's pretty much all I can think of for 2020. And I think once we get into Go ahead.
There's another one that Nintendo advertised recently that's coming out in May of next year, called Super Mash. They put a trailer up on their YouTube channel. It's an old school looking game, kind of like 8-bit, 16-bit, and it's apparently you choose 2 game genres, and it mashes them together and creates a new game style for you.
What?
That's pretty neat.
So they I'll try to look up the trailer and I'll post it in the chat, but yeah, so like one of the options is like platformer JRPG, and then it would slam those together and take elements from both those style games and make something out of it. And then I guess later on in the game you get development cards that allow you to change things yourself. So it's really interesting. It's for the Switch. The second I saw that trailer, I'm like, damn, I'm getting this.
That
looks pretty cool. That sounds really cool.
So-
The one game I'm interested to see, and I want you guys to hear me out before you critique it. I'll tell you the title of it. It's called Digimon Survive.
I'm gone.
Yep.
It is actually a Digimon survival game. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Like it really piques my curiosity.
So like survival as in you need to like hunt and eat and shit, or like survival horror where you gotta like survive things attacking you?
I think you have to survive things that are attacking you and like eat and that sort of thing.
Okay.
I don't know if you can die yourself, but I do think the Digimon can.
Digimon don't die. They just digitize, or they become data. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking know.
The way it says here, it's not connected to any existing Digimon timeline or story, and it's about the players having a bond with their Digimon in an entirely new world.
It's not canon.
It says the survival RPG puts tamers in the inevitable role of having their peaceful lives broken up with new dangers. So I'm interested to see what it's about.
Yeah.
Might be crap, but it sounds interesting. And I can't believe I forgot about this, but I honestly wanted to call in sick at work tomorrow so I could binge watch The Witcher.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
It comes out tomorrow. I am excited to see what it's about. That coming from somebody who has watched a lot of playthroughs of The Witcher, never actually played it myself, but I'm interested because I'm hoping that this is actually a decent Netflix adaptation, because I haven't seen any that I thought were good up to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we said before, we talked about this a few podcasts ago. The actors in the show seem to be really mindful of the community and trying to give them what they want. So I'm hoping it's a good thing. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's good. I'm down to watch it. I'm just hoping it's actually good.
Usually, when they try to make a movie or a series out of a game, or the vice versa, it ends up being bad. So hopefully, this is
Or even an anime in general.
yeah. So
And
hopefully, this is good.
The last episode of The Mandalorian comes out next week as well. So
Ooh, I still gotta watch
the
newest episode.
the last episode of season 1, that is. I really think it's kind of building up, and I think that they timed this coming out with the Rise of Skywalker about the same time. From what I understand, they only take place about 20 something years from each other, so it's very possible that they kind of tie into each other at least a little bit. So, and it's been confirmed that they're already working on a season 2 of The Mandalorian as well. So that's pretty exciting news if you like Star Wars. Because I will say the series is a lot better than the movies.
That's what I said. I like the Mandalorian series more than I like the actual Star Wars movies.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see like how Star Wars does. I think I might go watch it this weekend. Whether it's a good or a bad film, I still enjoy fantasy of any kind, honestly, and so I'd like to see how it ends.
This is the last one, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the last. Yeah. This will be the last one following anybody named Skywalker.
Okay.
I actually have 4 games coming out next year. Some of them are not confirmed yet, but there's some that are that I am interested in. One of them, I know they've had a really rough patch with some of their newer games, but Assassin's Creed is having their next game.
I actually like the newest one. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was really good, I think.
Well, I think this one's called Ragnarok.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Vikings. Probably.
Makes me think of Thor, though. Immediately makes me think of Thor.
So maybe good, maybe bad. The other 3 that I have are all indie based. So one of them is Bendy and the Ink Machine. Although the new game won't be called that, it's called Bendy and the Dark Revival, and that's supposed to be coming out probably June, July-ish.
I was really disappointed with how the first one ended.
The ending wasn't that good, I'll admit. I love the whole story up till chapter 5. That's what I'll say. I loved everything up till chapter 5.
Yeah, it just felt rushed. Like they needed to find an ending, and they had a good story. They just didn't know how to end it. And I felt like that they felt rushed by their fans to get that last chapter out, which I can understand to a certain degree. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure your fan base would understand if you took a little bit more time just to make something good.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Kingdom Hearts.
or look. So take another indie game into account, like Sally Face. Sally Face was supposed to be finished, I think, a couple of years ago. And this game has been out for quite a while now, and they just released their final chapter. And I actually really enjoyed how the game ended.
But I haven't seen how it ends yet.
But yeah, I just thought I would bring that up. I mean, you don't always have to feel the pressure from your people, and if you do, sometimes it's better to just take a break, get refreshed, and come back. But
yeah.
So, Bacon, tell me, what is... Because as soon as you said Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, I thought of Thor Ragnarok. What is Assassin's Creed Ragnarok about? Or they even tell us yet?
I don't know if they fully said it. All I've heard is that it's supposedly going to be coming out next year. Okay. There's not too much I can say about it. Yeah, it's supposed to be... Yeah, Viking era. That's all I can really say. It looks pretty good.
Is it going to be the final chapter?
No. I don't think they're ever gonna end it.
So it's like I'm probably going to offend you guys, but Assassin's Creed to me is like the RPG version of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like the only reason I quit playing it is it just felt like it was the same thing over and over, which
It's
it
re-
is.
It is repetitive. I'll give you that.
The other two games. One of them has actually been out for a long time, and it's getting re-released, and they're changing a lot about it. And it's funny because it's the same game that Colt and I first on my channel and Colt's channel, the first video we ever collabed on.
Is it what was it
I don't think Colt's
called?
gonna get it.
What was that game called? Hang on.
Don't go on your YouTube.
No, I'm not. Dude, I'm having a brain fart. The first games we played together was either the Blood and Bacon game or that baby game.
Who's your daddy?
Oh, Who's Your Daddy? That's what it was. Okay.
Yes, and apparently the first update is happening in 4 days for it, but the full game will be released within like January or February. And I've seen the trailer for it, and I honestly am not happy.
That game had so many glitches. Oh, speaking of updates, Penguin and I looked earlier. Raft had a huge update. The game we played. Now you can actually go on land and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. So that was pretty cool.
And the last game I had, this one, it's not necessarily a good game, but I think it will be big on YouTube like it was last time.
What?
Huni Pop 2.
Oh no.
Ooh, Huni Pop 2?
Oh no.
Alright.
Yes. Supposedly, it should be coming out next year. Keyword, like I said, keyword supposedly.
So that means Bacon's supposedly gonna play it next year.
Hey, I'm just saying this right now. That game made a lot of people's careers.
Yeah.
Look at Markiplier. I mean, yes, a lot of people say Five Nights at Freddy's, but when you look at his like statistics and everything, and he's even said this in an older video, like one of the videos that first gave him his rise was Huni Pop.
Oh wow.
So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm interested to see how it goes, especially because I've heard a lot of stuff on. I follow the dev on Twitter, but he's tweeted a lot of interesting stuff about it.
There's a rumor of Undertale 2 coming out next year.
Where's Deltarune Chapter 2?
Well, that's kind of the rumor is that Deltarune's going to be coming out as its own individual buyable game, like full chapter. Basically saying that it was just like a furry orgy waiting to happen.
Now, I've actually seen the Broadway musical of Cats, so I know the story.
Yeah. Well, like
And just the characters.
seeing live action cats like eating catnip is kind of gross.
Well, I mean, on Broadway, it's okay. That's what I'll say. In most cases, Broadway musicals, when they're brought to actual movies, they're not good.
So, and a few of you weren't here when we were talking about this before the podcast, but what do you think? What percentage do you guys think it got on Rotten Tomatoes?
20.
Any guesses?
I think only one of us doesn't know it, so let's ask. Panic. What do you think the rating for Cats the movie is on Rotten Tomato?
14.
Wow, he was closer than everyone.
Dang.
What was it? 12?
What was it, Bacon?
Megan?
Hello?
Bacon!
Sorry. Someone came in my room.
I was like,
Someone came in my room. No, it was 19%.
I can't come in without saying hi.
It was what, Megan?
19%?
19%.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have got better reviews if Taylor Swift wasn't in it.
Taylor Swift was in it?
Yeah.
Apparently.
The funniest part, they had some of the best cast.
Besides Taylor
It's
Swift.
just a shit movie. I mean, but I mean, if people don't know, like the cast, like Taylor Swift is in it, yes, but James Corden, Jennifer Hudson, Idris Elba, Judi Dench,
I'll be honest. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
I
who
love
half
all
of
those
those people
people.
are.
Jason
Damn.
Derulo,
Really?
Rebel
They're
Wilson,
all. Yeah.
and one of my favorite actors, Ian McKellen, was in it.
I don't know who that is.
Gandalf.
Oh. Okay.
Thought he died.
That was Christopher Lee.
No, I gotta add my like shock and awe effect into the podcast. You know. Uh, I, I don't know. I felt like the cast was pretty good, like from what I saw as well. But I don't think many people. I feel like that's a really niche audience, anyways. And it's just one of the few things that come from Broadway that doesn't translate good to the big screen.
Yeah.
It kind of scares me because one of my favorite Broadway musicals is supposedly getting a movie out of 2020 or 2021, and I'm
Which
very
one?
scared. Heather's.
Okay.
I'm very scared how they're going to be doing that one, considering everything in that movie. Because
Like,
that
I
movie
remember-
covers a lot of bad stuff.
I remember when Rent came out in theater, like it was at a time where that was a little too controversial for the time. I'll just leave it that way. And I remember watching it, and a lot of the people in the theater were actually leaving in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
My parents included. But I didn't necessarily think it was a bad movie at the time. It just it was a little risque, I think.
Just
I don't know.
curious, how many
But
of you know Heather's?
I do not.
I've heard of it,
Okay.
but I haven't seen anything.
Because I'm just saying, you're saying like Rent was risky. The Heathers would be the most controversial movie of probably the last 5 decades, I'd say.
Huh.
If it came out as a movie.
Damn.
So
With
it's
its
like
talk on LGBT community, mass school bombings. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it that would be very controversial right now.
Then why make a movie about it?
I don't know. I want money.
Shock factor.
hey, that's my thing.
What's that?
Shock factor.
Oh.
Speaking, well, I mean, there's no way to segue into this because I just can't today.
Speaking of shock factor.
Speaking of shock factor, Redbox is going to quit renting games.
They still did that?
I didn't even think they still did that.
I
Yeah,
didn't think they still were doing it.
it was still a thing. They're stopping in January 2020.
Dang.
I actually do, and the whole reason I bring this up, it did get me to thinking that I think that streaming games through some kind of rental platform will be more of a thing in the near future, or some sort of subscription that would really cater to, I think, a younger audience, not necessarily people who are dedicated gamers or have I guess a dedicated amount of money to go towards games. But I think something like that would be good for kids, and I think that's something that would be good for them to be targeted. Even though you'd have to be careful how you would advertise that now. But I'm interested to see what the future of streaming games will actually be like. If it's an offline game, I think it's completely viable in the near future. But as far as, and we've kind of beat the dead horse with this, but
No competitive
I don't-
games.
no competitive games with that.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
could you
just-
imagine streaming Call of Duty? That would just be so bad.
Oh God.
Like I brought this up where I played The Witcher. Like I tried to play The Witcher on my Nvidia Shield a couple years ago, and I would hit a lag spike and I would die because that game is very unforgiving in certain parts. It kind of reminded me of Dark Souls, but not quite as hard.
Okay.
Um,
I've never played it myself.
what are your favorite Christmas movies?
Okay. This will tell you. By the elf here, what's your favorite color? Yep, mine is Elf. I love that movie.
I highly suspected this of you, Colt.
It's not surprising.
It's not. Like I was
It's
sitting here
Will-
thinking it's
listen.
probably a
Listen, it's Will fucking Ferrell. You know?
It is a pretty incredible movie,
It is.
and it's not even like a hidden gem. It's one of the new Christmas classics that just everybody has.
Yeah.
Like it's the new A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Mm.
when my
It's one
wife
of those
told
that
me
they'll play all day long.
when my wife told me she hadn't seen A Christmas Story, I'm like,
What?
I can't be married to you. Like, get
It's
out
kind
of
of
here.
sad. My favorite scene from that movie is the racist scene. Funny enough, in the Christmas
Like-
Story.
Oh my.
Don't judge me, but I really like The Holiday just because Jack Black's in it.
I don't think I saw that one.
Man,
I
I
haven't
don't
seen
think
that one.
I don't think I have
It's
either.
It's a rom-com, okay? No man is supposed to admit to liking this movie.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Titanic in the Notebook.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
I don't know. I liked it. It was the first movie I'd seen where Jack Black played like a normal role, I guess, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Just normal.
Jack Black has
roles?
never played a normal role.
Oh my
Watch the
God.
movie. He is a normal role in this.
I don't want to see it now.
Okay,
Panic.
my-
What's yours?
Favorite Christmas movie? Oh God. I mean, it's not Christmas until you watch one of the claymation Christmas movies. So Santa
damn.
Claus is coming to town, or
Rudolph.
I forgot about this.
yeah, Rudolph. I'm back and forth on. I like Rudolph, but I prefer the. I don't prefer. I don't like. I don't want to say I don't like. I prefer the other ones that Rudolph is in, but not Rudolph itself.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the characters show up in like multiple of these claymation ones, but yeah, Santa Claus is coming down specifically, and then oh God, and they're all so similar. I keep like screwing them up and mixing up which ones are which, but yeah, you gotta at least watch one claymation Christmas movie, and otherwise, I actually used to have two that I watched every year when I was real little, and they're just no-name Christmas movies that I had on VHS. One was called The Best Christmas Ever, and one was called Rockin' Reindeer Christmas. They were pretty epic.
The three favorites. Well, go ahead, Penguin. Let's hear yours first. I have a short story.
He's muted.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What?
Watch your
What?
favorite movie.
My favorite Christmas movie so far is Klaus.
Klaus is pretty, yes.
Recently
Klaus-
released on Netflix. Is a pretty good Christmas movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
Wow,
Oh,
seen
you
it.
have to.
you uncultured swine! How dare you?
I know.
I don't have a Netflix
I mean-
account right now. I gotta renew.
It did just come out. You got to give him a little bit of slack.
Three movies that I watched as a kid, like every year. I remember watching was Jack Frost, I'll Be Home for Christmas, and then at least one of the Home Alone movies.
Home Alone movies are good.
hmm
I only consider the first one a Christmas movie. I don't care about the other ones.
It's like no matter how many
No.
times you watch the Home Alone movies, you just realize that the parents are just bad parents
Right.
Yeah, like, how do they forget about him every single year?
every year.
I mean,
He's a little shit. That's how.
You think they would attach a leash to him or something so that way they keep an eye on him?
I don't know. If he,
Put a
Isn't-
tracking
isn't
chip in
Kevin
him.
only in two of them?
he's in three of them, I believe.
He's in two of them.
Two of them. Okay.
And then the
The
other
third one's a
two
different
are a
kid.
different kid.
I,
Yeah.
I will say I really enjoy Bad Santa as well. I really like that movie.
Oh jeez.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about Christmas movie, and I thought of that Christmas movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, where he's like, "Put the
Jingle
cookie,
all the way.
Jingle
put the
all the
cookie
way.
down,
Jingle all the way.
put the
I
cookie
like that
down."
one.
Put
That was
cookie
during a
down.
very good era of Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah.
All your guys' answers are normal. I don't want to say mine now.
Say it.
I have two that are torn between me. One of them is recent, and one of them is older. And when I say older, I think it was out in like the 70s. Not too old, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
The one that's older that I really love is Black Christmas,
Okay.
which if you don't know, that's a horror movie.
Aren't they coming out with another one or something to
They
do
already,
with one of them?
yes, they're remaking it for a third time.
Okay. For a third
But,
time.
For a third time, yes. But I love that movie. It is around Christmas. Before anyone says anything, it is around Christmas. But
Okay.
I also love how it was pretty much that movie pretty much started the slasher genre of horror movies in general.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And funniest part is it wasn't American made.
Okay, so I'm total ADD right now. My actual favorite Christmas movie, like all time, is just Friends, just for the introduction by Ryan Reynolds. It's hilarious.
I don't think I've seen
I don't
that.
think I saw that one.
He sings. He's really fat, and he lip sings "I Swear" with a fat suit on at the beginning of the movie. It's
Oh
really,
my gosh.
really funny. And my
That
wife
sounds
and
like me without a fat suit.
my wife and I watch it every year. Oh, it's called Just Friends. It's on Netflix, by the way. You guys should watch it. It's pretty funny.
Let's
It's
check it
also
My
out.
favorite Christmas movie is the Star Wars Christmas special.
Shut the hell up. The other one I was gonna say I liked was the newer one was Krampus.
I haven't seen that.
Krampus.
It had a pretty good cast. Granted, it's not it's not a normal horror movie in a sense, but I really enjoyed it.
The only thing
Of course
I
not,
agree,
it's
it
a
was
horror
pretty
movie. It's a
decent
Christmas
one.
horror movie.
But
The
it,
only
it
thing-
but it had like a lot of like wacky sound effects and all that in it, even though it's even though
Oh,
it
that's
wasn't
awesome.
good.
Dang.
It's
the
a
only
good
thing,
horror movie.
I've ever seen about Krampus is those episodes of American Dad with Krampus in them.
Yeah. Although one of my favorite lines from the Krampus movie is because one of the main house is like traditional traditional Christmas look, and one of the characters literally says it looks like Martha Stewart threw up in here.
I really liked the Charlie Brown Christmas also. It's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Nightmare
about the
Before
Muppets?
Christmas.
Oh yes.
I'm kind of surprised nobody said Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, the
Nightmare
thing is,
Before Christmas.
If we weren't counting horror movies, Nightmare Before Christmas would be mine.
Well, like I usually say that's my favorite Halloween movie.
I mean, it's a mix of both. There's. It is what it is.
Half the songs are Halloween, half the songs are Christmas.
Exactly.
And
But I
then
mean,
there's
they
a-
sing
then
this
I'm-
is Halloween, so
yeah, and then they have What's This, which is a Christmas song.
Like how they were trying to say
then
that,
they sing Death to the Santa Claus, which is all the above.
Yeah.
I like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Poor cat.
I like how everyone
I
was
just
trying
saw
to
that the
say
other
Die
day, too.
Hard's a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
It is?
It is.
It's always
It
is
takes
a
place
Christ-
during.
Because it takes
place
place in
during
Christmas
Christmas.
movies.
Wasn't there a
okay.
Batman? There's a Batman movie they consider a Christmas movie too. With Batman Returns or.
I swear to God, if you mean the one with
Um,
Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze,
I think that's the one though.
God.
Put that cookie
I
down!
swear, I swear to God, if that. Hold on,
I
I'm gonna
will
double check.
freeze you.
Oh, here we go. Actually, I looked it up. Is Batman Returns a Christmas film? That's the first thing that pops up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's not the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, thank God. Thank God. It's the one I actually liked. Perfect. It was the one with Danny DeVito as Penguin.
Oh wow.
Funny
Did
enough, I actually did cosplay him a couple years back.
Danny DeVito?
Pixar
Yeah, did
didn't happen.
Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
Pixar, it
Said
didn't
Pixar
happen.
didn't happen. It's gonna be the next podcast thumbnail. Trying to think of some other Christmas movies.
Polar Express was a good Christmas movie, but I've watched it so
Yeah.
many times.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I actually really liked Jim Carrey as the Grinch.
Yeah.
Mm.
The one with Jim Carrey was good. I like when he's like, I'm an idiot! and then that goes like, "You're an idiot." I thought that part was pretty
Mhm.
funny.
I'm probably the only one old enough to remember this movie. Maybe Jim might. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
It sounds familiar.
It's got John Candy in it and Steve
Oh,
Martin.
I've seen it. Yep, I've seen
Yeah.
it. As soon as I heard John Candy, yep.
I've seen it, but
Uh,
it's been a long time. I do
Uh,
love the people in it though. So
Yeah. Miracle on 34th Street was a classic.
Scrooged,
Yeah, Scrooged.
Bill Murray. Actually, no, I can think of one of my favorite because I watched this a lot growing up. The Muppets Christmas Carol.
The Muppets just freak me out, especially
I
that
love the
one.
Muppets.
Especially that one that just talks in like little noises, like the what's his name?
Eager?
Yes. He freaks me out.
Like,
Why does he freak you out?
Just the way he talks.
I was gonna laugh if at first he was chef.
I thought he was gonna say Animal freaked him out. Like my son, if you watch him play drums, he looks like Animal.
Oh my gosh.
Four Christmases. I actually like that movie with Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn.
Haven't seen
Oh,
that
I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's relatable.
one.
That's why it's funny for me.
Oh my gosh.
I just realized no one has said this. Santa Claus.
Which
What-
one?
the one with
There's
Tim-
like 8.
The one with Tim Allen?
Yeah,
one?
the Tim
There's like
Allen
3.
one. No one counts the third one, okay?
No one counts the third one.
Christmas with
second
the
one was
Cranks.
good. Oh God.
What did you say?
Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh my.
Actually, a movie I forgot is technically Christmas. Gremlins.
Hell yeah. Is When Harry Met Sally really considered a Christmas movie?
Is it?
It's on this list that I'm looking at. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. I just remember not liking the movie and everybody talking about it, kid. But then again, I was a kid when I watched it and it was really boring. But
Yeah.
The Preacher's Wife. I think that was one of like Denzel Washington's earlier films.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's hilarious that Die Hard's considered a Christmas movie, but
It
does
is a
make
Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's what
I will
was like,
fight for that
what?
one. If Nightmare Before Christmas is considered a Christmas movie, actually no, if The Nativity Story is considered a Christmas, then that is considered Die Hard's considered a Christmas. That's what I'll say.
I should say Miracle on 34th Street. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
Just like Black Christmas, there's like 5 remakes.
Yep.
Will they ever stop? Nope.
Can't stop, won't stop.
If only they would.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, actually, I remembered another horror movie that was takes place during Christmas.
What?
Jack Frost.
Oh.
Not, and before I say it, not the Michael Keaton one.
Favorite Christmas album.
Favorite Christmas album?
Mhm.
I know which one it is. I don't remember the full name of it. That's the issue.
Favorite Christmas what?
Album. So I'll share a link to this for you guys, but we listen to this every year, my wife and I, since we've been married. It's called Sleddon Hill by August Burns Red, which is a metalcore band.
Like, that actually I could probably deal with, because if I have to listen to Mariah Carey,
It's
all
like-
I want for Christmas is you one more time, I'm gonna explode.
I hate that song. I hate it because it's so
Here,
overplayed.
I'll put
Yes.
it in the Omni Knights Discord, but it's heavier metal-ish Christmas instrumental.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, it starts off kind of normal, but then gradually gets heavier and heavier.
Where's
Funny
it-
you say heavy
where'd you
metal
put
because
it
my
at?
favorite album.
I put it in Hangout in the Omni Knights
Okay.
Discord.
It's funny you mentioned metal because my favorite Christmas, a heavy metal Christmas.
I'm actually playing it right now to listen
And
to it.
this one not many people realize, but the singer is Christopher Lee.
That's not
And the
pretty
one-
good.
The second link I put was actually my favorite song overall.
I'll listen to him later. I don't want to get us copyright strikes.
Right? Come at us, who's Solid State Records. Please don't. That was a joke.
Oh my
There you go.
God.
I'll put one. I'll put one from the album.
That looks
That I like.
scary.
It does.
What do you mean?
It looks like a Sith Lord's about to come through the screen and kill me.
It does. It does.
It's Christopher Lee's album. He's a metal artist.
He's
In
just
his
looking
90s,
at.
he was writing metal music.
He's just looking at me like, "Come to the dark side." Like,
And the low effort, like, visual effects are scaring me.
yeah.
It's got
yeah.
a little like beam going back and forth, left or right.
It's Christopher Lee, okay? Be nice.
Wow.
Not to mention he was 90 when he wrote these
Hell
songs.
yeah.
So
That's the most metal thing you could say, anyways.
a 90-year-old singing these.
But no, I know at the beginning of the podcast we were kind of talking about what we were planning for the podcast in 2020. I would like one of our podcasts, either the first of the month or the last of the month, to be more community driven.
Yeah.
And kind of an open forum for people to kind of join in and us be more conversational with them. I think that would be really good for the podcast, and not just that, but it would be a lot of fun just to get other opinions that aren't the people that we have on here every time. That being said, I would also like at least one of the podcasts per month to have a guest on the podcast. I think it would be a little hard for us to find a guest for every single show, but one a month would be doable for sure.
What? You get to wear PJs to school? No way. That was just something somebody said in the comments.
Yeah, I know. I was assuming it was on the comment.
It was. That's pretty cool, though. That's
I was
pretty
gonna
cool.
say
You
if
get to
it
wear...
wasn't, I was gonna say, who are you talking to?
Are you okay, Cole?
Yeah.
They
You
said
good, man?
They said tomorrow I get to wear PJs to school. That's pretty cool, though.
Miguel, thanks for coming out to the stream. We're not leaving. I'm not going anywhere, man. Since we have you on the stream, is there anything you would like to see us do in future podcasts? Just curious. We're kind of, this is our last podcast of 2019. We've only done, I think this is our 6th. Is that right?
I think so. We are planning on
Yeah.
playing a game after this, though.
Yeah, we're planning on playing maybe Scribble.io.
Yeah, that's why we were late to starting this one, because we were having technical difficulties on trying to switch between the different OBS settings.
Hey, Quite Limited, thanks for coming out. We were just talking about us playing Scribble.io. Once the stream is over, we will be streaming that as a separate stream if you guys wanna check that out. And I'll put a link to our Discord in the description. So if you want to,
I appreciate
so
that.
if, or
Oh, I was talking
Thanks.
about McGraw.
don't confuse me, Colt.
I was reading the comments.
But yeah, we really enjoy having you guys come out. And let's see here. I wonder if it'll let me put this. I think it will. Feel free to play some Scribble. Hell yeah, we'll have a good time.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about if you guys want to see anything new in the podcast for 2020, let us know. We're planning on possibly doing a community podcast where we just kind of do more Q&A type stuff, and then also that same night maybe do some games with our community. I think that would be pretty fun to build a community, and not only that, but it just it's always fun to get new opinions on people too. So excited.
Next topic I was gonna bring up was, how do you feel about this this Call of Duty. So far, in my opinion, it's running. It's such a good Call of Duty, and it's just so smooth because the whole game is just so smooth because on previous versions of Call of Duty, Grinch, you know that bye Miguel, but thanks for coming out. But anyway, the on previous versions of previous Call of Duties, you know you had to pay money for like the season pass, and that's how you got the maps and stuff like that. These ones have been free. Every time they give you a new map, it's been free, and they're actually bringing back older Call of Duty maps to this game. And Bacon and I played one earlier, and it was literally it needs a little bit of work,
Garbage.
but you literally spawned and died, spawned and died, spawned and died, spawned and died. You didn't even get to really move, but until we just started using knives instead. But this Call of Duty is definitely heading in the right direction. I feel like.
I agree.
There's been no pay to win yet, in my opinion.
No, there has not been a. I mean, the only thing I would consider pay to win right now, is the blueprints, but even
Yeah.
then, it's not much of an advantage.
Because the new guns they brought out in the actual battle pass are on the free section, so you don't even have to pay for the battle pass to get the guns. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to level it up. But
I think Rich left.
he did. As soon as we said Call of Duty, he left.
Yeah.
They probably disconnected. I think. Yeah, Grinch died. He left. Or he didn't die, but I don't know what happened to him. I think he just disconnected. His internet can be doo doo.
He's dead. He's dead, guys.
Quite limited said in the chat. Grinch no.
Yep. He got attacked by Baldy. Baldy got him.
Not gonna lie, out of all the horror games I've ever played, Baldi scared me the most, dude. Baldi scared me the most.
Pacify scared me.
I don't really I get like jump scared and stuff in those games, but they don't like stick to me. Baldi did because it was so repetitious and just like the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, like that when he says, "Oh, a shiny quarter," that this it's stuck in my brain. But when like when we play those horror games together, they don't really stick to me like in my head. It's just like once we're done playing, I'm not scared anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The Miguel said tomorrow I'm watching the Polar Express at school. I feel like that's what like every school plays, you know, for Christmas movies.
Well, it's because
Or
it's one of
Christmas
the
movie.
only ones that doesn't controversial topics or.
Polar Express.
Yeah, it's just an overall kids one.
We get on a train and go to the North Pole. End movie.
Yeah, that's normal, right?
Yeah, that's
Every kid does that.
That's pretty much all it's about, getting on a train and going to the North Pole, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't you do that, Cole? Did you do that when you were younger?
No. Grinch just texted me saying his power went out. Yep.
All right, I'm back. What I miss?
You missed Grinch's power
Grinch is
going
dead.
out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that all? That's fine. We can carry on.
Yep. We were talking about the new Call of Duty. Like you know, in previous games, Panic, like you have to buy a season pass and like then you get the maps and stuff like that. Every time they've released a map in this Call of Duty, it's just been free in an update, which I think is pretty cool.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and they're bringing back old maps from the older Modern Warfare games, which is pretty cool.
Are we just digging for topics now, or?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We've already gone through everything.
I mean, we didn't cover one, but I don't know.
Oh, the wait for
Yeah.
Grinch
I'm-
to come back.
I'm okay with skipping that topic.
I'm
Oh,
fine
yeah.
skipping it.
All right, so let's skip it. So something that I was gonna bring up last week, and I posted in the chat afterwards. There's a thing going around social media, reminding people that kids are gonna be getting Switches and Sword and Shield for Christmas.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as like a Christmas gift of goodwill, they're basically kind of reminding people, hey, if you want to make a kid's day, you know, get some cool stuff and just special trade it away, which is the new Wonder Trade, or what's it called, secret trade or special trade?
Yeah, I think didn't you post
It's something stupid. I
about
prefer
that
Wonder
in,
Trade, but
I think you posted something about it on
Surprise
Discord.
trade Christmas.
surprise trade. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, surprise trade away some fun stuff. So I know a lot of people are breeding starters. They're breeding EVs. They're breeding just fun stuff that would be neat to have when you first start at the game.
Yeah.
I'm breeding
So
I'm
pretty
breeding
cool.
Delmies.
okay, yep.
I would
That's a
say
harder one to get to, I guess.
I would say the new Pokemon game. It look. I would say it does look amazing, but the only thing like that I've heard it like time and time that over again, different people that and I feel the same way. The when I play a Pokemon game, I want the rivals to be like Blue and Gary, where they're trying to beat the crap out of you. They're trying to beat you, and everyone says these rivals in the new game are just way too easy. Like they you can beat them so easily, you know. How do you feel
I mean,
about that?
the games are very different than they used to be too.
Okay.
Like back in
Yeah.
the day, like yeah, the first couple rivals got you pick the water type, they got the grass type, and it
Yeah.
made it a little bit more challenging. But then more recently, they gave you friends and not rivals, and the friends would get your
Weak.
counter,
Yeah.
your strength. So there was, which one was it? Was it Diamond Pearl that gave you both a rival and a friend?
Oh, really?
Charon and Bianca.
I don't think I
X
played
and
Or
Y.
no,
one.
that was Black and White.
Black and white. Black and white.
Yeah, because in Black and White 2, they were a gym leader and a professor or something.
Yeah.
That see now that was cool story development. Black and White, you had your rival and friend, and then Black and White 2, those two people, grew up and became something. So yeah, that's. I mean, I guess it's kind of the same between Gen 1 and Gen 2 too, because in Red and Blue, you had your
Yes.
rival and whatnot, and then he became a gym leader in Silver and Gold,
Yeah, and then red was.
and then Red was like the distant champion after the champion.
Yeah. It's just
He
like
was
a
the-
mythical trainer.
Yep, completely
I-
optional and pain in the ass.
Yep. And then, although the one thing I'll admit in Gold and Silver, I think the rival in that one was actually more of a rival than Gary.
Really?
I really liked the concept
Yeah.
of the rival in Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
But do you
Like-
know who?
Yeah.
Do you know who he actually is? Right? The rival, who
I'm-
it is?
There was the theory that it was Giovanni's son, but
Yeah.
is that confirmed or is that?
I'm pretty sure they confirmed it in the show.
In the
Not
sh-
the,
okay.
but not the normal show, the Generation.
Oh,
okay.
I would have to rewatch that because I don't quite remember if they touched on that.
I think I just missed the challenge, like the very challenging part of Pokemon. You know.
Well, the issue is now there's a lot of younger people playing it compared to the people when they first started playing it. And because they have to cater to everyone, they have to make it slightly easier to the point where anybody can beat it with practice and everything. I mean, they don't want Pokemon to be like Dark Souls level of difficulty.
Right.
No.
Oh, and I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult, but like they've gone the same path as most video games these days. Is back in the day, it used to be no checkpoints, no saves. You put in a quarter and you get to continue.
Yeah.
And
And
you
now
know they
you
had
can do
to
infinite.
develop it where you can save anywhere, anytime. You can just turn off this character's die mode, and then you can play gleefully and blah blah. I
Mhm.
make fun of my wife sometimes because when she plays Fire Emblem, even though she's played them all through legitimately, she'll play through them again, and she'll turn on the mode that says characters don't die permanently, because she just wants to play for fun. And I'll
Oh,
kind of
no.
make fun of her a little bit and be like, "Hey, fucking, what's the point of playing then?"
Let
Oh,
him
gosh.
die. Let him die.
Let her die. But
Honestly, I
Where
kind of
were we?
like when that happens.
What's that?
In games, granted, some people will be sad if their favorite character dies.
Mhm.
But I like in games where they'll have that decision where it's like, oh, your decisions actually can cause someone to die and all that.
Oh
like-
yeah, definitely.
I love those kind of stories. I mean,
Oh,
a perfect
shit.
example is Until Dawn.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was trying to think of the name. I played that on PlayStation. Yeah. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah, and my very first run through of that game, I only had one person living at the end.
What?
I let everybody die. I didn't, but I let him die. I'm like, oh well.
I mean,
That's-
isn't there, well, spoilers, but isn't there like a thing at the end where everybody you saved still has a chance to die, like in a final explosion or something?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, like even if you do everything perfect, if you fuck up right at the end, everybody fucking dies anyway.
Yeah, that's what happened to one of them.
Dang.
And then I haven't seen. Well, I saw part of, but I never finished watching somebody play. Is Man of Medan? Because Man of Medan is like the spiritual successor to Until Dawn, right?
Yes.
Like, does it have the same oomph to it? Because Until Dawn, I didn't play it, but I watched the hell out of it, and there was a lot to it, and it was really like you felt what was happening.
Yeah.
Does Man of Medan have the same?
Kind of. I'll say that.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much. Like the way I'm seeing it is it's not as good as Until Dawn.
It's definitely not as good as. It's a good successor. I wouldn't say it's like a 100% spiritual successor. Like it's a good sequel.
Right. It utilizes the concept well. So okay.
The only game I've ever seen every character die was the campaign in Halo Reach. Literally literally every character you know dies, and you die at the very end.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I won't be playing that.
Actually, no, not everybody. Not everybody.
Oh, we don't know if June dies, but
Yeah.
is that who you were talking about?
Yep.
Ugh.
Yes, if anyone's concerned about me, yes, I'm a dark person, so.
What are you talking about when they said wow?
Yeah, they were wondering if that's why.
Oh my god.
I'm a person. Listen, I'm a person who likes to make the wrong decisions in games. I like watching horror movies and all that, so I'm on the wrong on.
Are we talking about all the topics we had? So now we are going to. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank everybody for watching. And now we're going to stop this stream and start another one where we play some Scribble.io. If you all want to watch that.
So what is Scribble.io?
What Scribble.io
Drawing game.
is, it's a drawing
Pictionary.
game. It's pretty much Pictionary but online, and we have to try to guess each other's drawings. It makes for some pretty funny moments.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It's just a browser game.
Okay. I think I'm gonna cut out here then.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah. I guess we'll see you next year.
Yep.
Yep. See you next year.
Peace out, everybody.